I'm no great shakes at working with modern coverings on our airplanes, but using the right tools helps me a bunch. Using these tools I can keep my planes looking presentable and even do some repairs now and then. I think I use my Hangar 9 Pro sealing tool more than anything else. This is just a good all-around tool that works very well and can be adapted to different uses. The Teflon covered shoe has a very nice shape to it and gets into smaller areas surprisingly well. For many, this is the tool to go to when you're first putting covering on a plane for sealing the edges and for doing repairs later on. And Hangar 9 knows that this tool is going to get a lot of use, and eventually the shoe is going to get scratched up, so they make it so it can be replaced easily. Those 4 screws on top are all you have to take out to replace the shoe. Even the little stand that Hangar 9 gives you with this tool is better than everybody else's. Think everybody else will catch up? I doubt it. When you plug the Hangar 9 sealing iron in, these 3 LED lights cycle. Then the yellow light will come on, and that tells you that it's warming itself up to the temperature you selected. When the green light comes on, it tells you that it's at the selected temperature. If the red light comes on, it means that it's gone over temperature a little bit and is currently cooling down to get back to the set temperature. One of the most common uses for the sealing iron is going over all the seams on a plane. I do this when a plane's brand new and after it's been flown for a while. Some of the factory seams can be pretty little, and the Hangar 9 Pro sealing iron makes it easier to keep those down. This is also my go-to tool when I'm checking all the seams on my planes. The Hangar 9 Pro trim tool is great for getting into curves and dealing with the smaller areas that we need to get sealed down. There's nothing fancy here, just a tool that works the way it's supposed to. When you plug it in, the sealing tool is always on, but you can select between low and high ranges. Both of the shoes that come with this tool can be adjusted for heat also. If you insert the shoe to this grooved line, that reduces the temperature a little bit. Push the shoe all the way in until the limiting tabs make contact and the shoe is at its highest setting. The rounded shoe works well for general work, but works especially well when you're working on inside of curves. The flat shoe is very handy when the space we have to reach into is very limited. I've been using the top flight heat gun for about as long as they've been out because it keeps on working the way it's supposed to. You can use it with the nozzle open like this, but I almost always put the fan attachment on because I just think it works better that way. The switch is also very simple. You have low temperature, no temperature, and high temperature, and that's it. You also have this knob on the back end that regulates how much air goes into the gun, and you can regulate temperature with that also. I leave this wide open on my gun and everything seems to work just fine for me. The top flight heat gun probably gets more use than everything else just because it's so good at tightening up the covering after it's been out in the sun for a while. We also have to shrink down brand new covering on new airplanes. The only thing with a heat gun like this is that you have to be careful how much heat you put where because it can burn through. The good news here is that to burn through you actually have to have this gun way too close and stay in one place way too long. So whether you're working with a brand new airplane or shrinking the uglies out of an older one, you need decent covering tools to get the job done right. And as always is the case, buying the good tools first is always way cheaper than buying the cheap ones and finding out they don't work and then buying the good ones. But there are people out there that can't multiply and they'll keep buying the cheap ones over and over again because they're cheap. So if you're looking to get some covering tools or replace the cheap ones that you already bought, think about getting good ones and save yourself a lot of grief.